guys, welcome back to the Lost Generation podcast. We're actually having lunch while recording today, so
Oh, not me though.
yeah, except for Mark. So if you hear some chewing action ASMR thing, then
That's
welcome.
why.
You're welcome to have your lunch or dinner with us. And joining us today is Millie. So Millie, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi. Actually, I'd like to think you introduce me.
Hang on.
I kind of want to see.
Okay, so we have a guest on today. This is Millie. She is my best friend.
There we go. I want to hear that.
All right. Yeah, I just kind of sent her a list of the topic that we have in mind that we're gonna do. I don't know, this month, and then she went through it and she's like, damn it, which one should I join? And then she chose the most existential one out of all of it. So this week we are talking about what does accomplishment means to us.
Mm-hmm.
Marc, do you want to explain why does this topic exist?
Shit. I don't know. I think we had this topic for quite a long time now, I think, on the list, right? We got it in a coffee shop, right? When we were talking about a story about the Uber or Grab or something, right?
Yeah. It was about my trip to Saigon, and on my way back from the airport, the taxi guy just kind of casually talked to me and like, hey, random question, but do you know the difference between success and accomplishment?
That's very deliberate.
Yeah.
Very deliberate.
Yeah.
It's like,
it was like an hour and a half drive, and we talked about a bunch of shit.
sounds like an attack to me, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, and I have an existential crisis right in backseat.
Yeah, but what did you answer him at that time though?
Yeah, I told him that I think accomplishment is more long term, and it also includes your feeling or your mental state in a way, not just what you have successfully achieved work or study wise. So what do you guys think?
Actually, when I read the topic, I just thought that they're the same thing. I never.
Yeah, me too. I just heard this for the first time and I'm like, what? Wait.
Did I not prepare for this podcast?
Yeah, no one is prepared.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's the same thing because maybe I grew up in a very tiger mom, tiger dad family. So I didn't focus on what's the difference between success and accomplishment. I just want to get what I am aiming for done. The goal is more important.
Yeah, I think that's why we need some kind of examples. Can you give me an example, the difference between success and accomplishment?
Okay, so we had this topic for a long time, sure, yeah? And then I got interviewed by VTV, you know, they just kind of hey, do you want to do an interview? I was like, yes, cool. And I did it with another guy, and the question was basically what do you think about a person who achieved success early? The guy said something along the line of we all knew what is success, having a stable career and shit like that. I was thinking more about success doesn't really have an age limit. So not exactly the question that he made to me. It's a bit out of topic, but then okay, so I talk about that, and then I think success is more about things that are measurable. It can be either measured by income or things like that. But accomplishment is more of the goals, what you have said before that you wanted to achieve in a way. The action that you wanted to do. So it's quite different, accomplishment and success. And I answered that question, and I thought it would be really dumb for VTV. But then they said I did a great job. So I think there's some merit into it. Success is kind of measurable. In terms of you have the money from that occupation. Well, accomplishment is more of just your bucket list in a way.
Yeah, because they usually say this person is successful. They don't say this person is accomplished.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's just a word that we use more often in Vietnamese. So maybe in a way.
Yeah, that's why I didn't think much of the difference between the two. I just thought they were synonyms.
But it's interesting though, thành công and thành đạt. it's like it has this like linear kind of like similar meaning in a way, but like it kind of diverge into like two groups. I think one is more personal and one is more about like the big picture, I guess. And I think it's quite interesting.
Do you want to talk about the big picture, or do you want to talk about personal?
What?
In terms of like
This podcast.
Accomplishment is more about personal shit, so I think sure, personal. Yeah. What you want to do basically, rather than like
what society wants.
what society wants you to do. Yeah, no, that's
Damn.
that's
Damn.
joke.
Okay.
That's joke. That's the Joker shit. You know? Yeah.
But
Yeah, that is what my definition. You know, I
Yeah.
don't know about you guys, but that's when I separate the two apart. And you know,
Yeah. I think an example of what I have accomplished. I would say that during this time, I kind of get to know myself more than before, and think about things more rationally and more deeply, in a way, more philosophical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More
And
philosophical.
philosophical.
Really? You
yeah.
Plato or something?
And today's accomplishment is recording this podcast while having lunch.
Oh,
So,
okay.
hell yeah.
No, that's a big
That's good.
achievement.
That's a big
Wait, what?
accomplishment.
Yeah, I think like I have talked about this before, but to me, like accomplishment means self-love in a way, self-belief. Because like when you believe in yourself, you can kind of see like what are your strengths and weaknesses, and for that you can do things that you wanted to do in a way. And you kind of know the challenges of it as well. So I think accomplishment to me, firstly, you have to believe in yourself first. Believe and love yourself, you know, before trying to do something. Yeah.
But that's like, I feel like that's like nirvana, because like you.
You said Nirvana to me for like 2 times now. I don't even like it that much.
I like nirvana.
No, oh no, oh shit. No, I love it. I love
It's
it.
okay, I don't like ASMR.
Fuck you.
Anyway.
No, yeah.
Because like if
Cool.
you talk about like accomplishing self-love, like that's like for me at least, I feel like that's way
Yeah, that's
down the
way
line.
down the line. After a lot of other
Yeah.
accomplishments,
Like
you
waking-
will arrive
Really?
at like
Exactly.
Okay.
self-love, I think. Because when we stumble upon this topic, Millie and I kind of briefly talk over it, and we kind of said that the cliche answer to give would be like
We have to
be happy is like the final like accomplishment, I think. But
I'm not saying be
if-
happy though.
yeah, I
Yeah.
know, but like when we talk about it,
Okay.
that was like our ending point. But then if we really talk about it, it's not that simple. So it's the same with like self-love. To be able to accomplish like self-love, you need to fulfill a lot of other things before you can get there.
Or
Yeah.
maybe that's
Yeah.
just what you think, like that's your merit to self-love in a way. You think that you have to achieve this thing in order to like yourself, and maybe that's not true.
I don't know, because like to me, like I have experienced things that I kind of considered like I'm not loving myself that much, you know. So that's why I came to that conclusion. So I don't like force you guys to have an idea. It just to me like I think my first thing would be that, you know, to believe in my ability first.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, what you guys said are interesting. And go on with the Nirvana shit. I want to hear it. No, I really want to hear it.
Because like,
Yeah.
okay, so if I'm gonna go all Buddhist on you, it's like.
Oh, you mean
No, I'm not a Buddhist. I'm not
you
a
mean
Buddhist.
Kurt Cobain or?
No, I mean like Buddhism.
Oh my god, I'm so
Nirvana.
sorry. I kind of
All
blasphemize
the
like
Buddhists just like there
a
at the
religion.
podcast. No, because like
Oh no.
not to get too religious, because
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm not, but like I like the idea of it because it just relieves you of like expectations for yourself, because basically Nirvana is like you reach Nirvana when you release all of your wants. So you don't want, you just accept what you have,
Yeah.
and that's like self-love. But like because we're human and we live in, you know, a capitalist society, we can't tell the difference between like, do we love ourselves and then we are able to do things, or do we do things to be able to love ourselves? Like that's why I think about Nirvana, because I feel like that's so far away, even though Nirvana is letting go of everything. Yeah.
By the way, are you guys eating something right now? You feel kind of bad for, you know. The 3 of us are eating, and Ling is just
doing his usual
He's
things.
also eating.
It's Nirvana. I thought you were talking about the band. Though.
Oh, no,
Fucking
no.
hell.
No, the word.
Oh no.
If it's the band, it's perfectly up to her, not me.
She doesn't like Nirvana.
And if she introduces me to better music than I listen to.
Oh really?
So going back, what have you accomplished? You know, no, you don't have to think about the big picture. Just kind of this week or this month, maybe.
We made a video under an hour this morning.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Wow.
Damn.
I feel pretty accomplished.
We made it here on time on the podcast.
Yes.
Someone didn't, but
Got you.
no, but like it's kind of funny that you have to clarify that as well, because when you ask the question, what have we accomplished? Automatically, I would think about like, oh my God, what have I done over the past 21 years? Like, what have I done? Like, is there anything worth mentioning? I guess.
Yeah.
But then you have to clarify it as that. It can just be something simple that you've done this week or like today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do we think like that? Like, we have to imagine the big things that we've done with our lives.
Yeah, like that's why I said like why is accomplishment and success like two different things, because I just thought they're one and all of them ties to like what you've done in 21 years rather than like what you've done today.
Like just people wanting to find motivations, you know, to do things, yeah, to have purpose in life, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, but that puts a lot of stress. Like, if we, because now that I know that there's a difference between accomplishments and success, I can be, more happy with myself daily. Because I wouldn't, it's like when people do bullet journaling, right? And they have like, here are my goals for the month, and then here's my goal for today. Like, I don't do bullet journaling.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
then my mindset is always like, if I don't accomplish this monthly task today, I have not been accomplished at all today. Yeah. Do you guys have like daily accomplishments? Like,
I don't.
Like a set.
I don't, to be honest. Yeah, because I have seen a lot of my friends who they have like monthly tasks as well, and like monthly goals. You know, they want to achieve this kind of thing by the end of next month or something. I don't, because like I'm not going to say I'm more spiritually, but I think accomplishment to me is more about like I have defeating kind of my demons, in the past before. So being able to kind of, I don't know, like reason with myself a little bit, it's good, because I used to be really insecure and I don't express myself that much. So that is a big accomplishment to me. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of really like the idea of bullet journal, because I tend to ask myself that question, like, what have I done this year, this month, and kind of having a documentation of that in terms of like writing down the task. And sometimes looking back at it, I find it kind of, how should I say it, comforting in a way that I actually did something. Yeah, just like when you talked to me about doing your portfolio. You said that I thought I didn't do much, but then when you include all your work in your portfolio, you realize that, oh, I actually did a lot.
Yeah.
And sometimes we just need that kind of poof moment.
Yeah. Putting together a portfolio is kind of painful, but then it is quite like a nice feeling to put together everything that you've done, and then look at it, and you'll be like, oh wow, actually, I wasn't that bad.
You're doing great. Yeah.
Yeah, because my computer was like lagging throughout the whole process of me trying to put like my portfolio together.
Especially doing it in weeks.
Yeah.
It sucks. No, it sucks.
Yeah, we tried to put it together and it's like, oh my god, Wix is not accepting this. How to make it smaller. But yeah, I just like the idea of like smaller accomplishments so that we can be more, I don't know, gentle to ourselves.
And that's to us, because like again, a lot of people, they want to have monthly tasks. They want to have like monthly goals for them to kind of have like a purpose or a motivation for them to do better at work. And if it fits them, sure, it's great. But some people, sure, like what you said before, like they feel pressure to kind of have that, because my friend is kind of like that. She has all of this goal, like she's doing well basically, but she doesn't really find the drive to live, basically. Like she doesn't really know the motivation.
I think that's
Because like, what's the point, right?
Yeah. I think that's why I kind of, I mean, not to say that I don't make daily lists of things that I want to do, but like that's why I don't want to go to bullet journaling, because I feel like if I systemize myself, then I can't live every day. And I already have problems with living in the moment. I'm always like, okay, what is this
What's
gonna,
the next thing?
what's the next thing, and how am I gonna
Yeah.
get that thing to the next thing?
Yeah.
So if I systemize myself even more, I'm gonna be like overthinking every step and being like,
Yeah.
am I doing good? Am I doing good?
Yeah, because I failed once before, you know,
Yeah,
having
yeah.
all of this expectation on myself, and then I failed miserably, and now I'm here.
Yeah. I think
Not like I'm saying it's bad. You know, it's great to be here, but like, there used to be a point where I came back to Vietnam, and I was like, fuck, I'm a loser. No, yeah. You know, so yeah, go on, sorry.
no, I think like now that I know the difference, or at least like the difference that you go by, it's a good food for thoughts, because now I can be like, okay, accomplishment is something I look back on after I finish my day, and I'm like, okay, today I accomplished this and this and this, and it's kind of like a comforting daily thing. And then when I think of success, I'm like, here, what I'm looking for in the future.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because right now I'm going with like, not the flow. It sounds fucking cliche, but basically like, if I gather something, I kind of invest in it and then move on to the next venture, but to see what happens, you know, not making expectation like I used to be, because sometimes you fail at that. Yeah.
Why are
go
you
on.
looking at me?
No, because
Why? Something I should know.
you know the story of the ex.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I'm fine with
The tea.
the tea. The key.
Do you guys feel accomplished?
I am.
Dun, dun.
Not in the way that people think, but I think for the most part, sure. You know. Yeah.
I would.
You haven't, right?
We just looked at each other like,
Vienna. No.
No, I would say that for most I don't feel like it for some reason. Yeah. I think it's just I'm so normalized to the idea of like accomplishment has to be something other people recognize other than myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like even when you go to interview, for example, they would ask like, what is your biggest accomplishment? You would not say like, I overcome my fear, you know?
Yeah. That's for
Yeah.
motivation shit. Yeah. That's for being.
So yeah, I would say that on most days I don't feel like it. But yeah, so that's why it's so hard when people just compliment me for something that I do, because I just feel like it's unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's just the way you think about
Yeah,
those
yeah.
compliments, right? Because like sure, like sometimes they compliment me and I'm like, really? Are you sure that you are complimenting on that shit?
Yeah, you think that's insignificant. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. Yeah, I would not blame the
Yeah,
accomplishments that they give, but just the way that I perceive my accomplishment, that I cannot internalize it for some reason. Yeah, on most occasions.
Yeah.
This suddenly take a depressing turn.
I told you not to.
It's not bad though, that
Yeah.
way of thinking. It's like you are actually, you know, you want to progress. That's the point, you know, so you don't feel like, you know, like having that compliment and then you stopped. Because some people, they kind of feel like, okay, so I have all of these projects, you know, in the past now, and look back at it and I feel proud. And then they're not doing anything next, you know, to kind of move on from that. So I think it's not necessarily like a bad strain of thought as well, you know, but just believe in yourself a little bit, you know, like you are doing well. The point being like maybe you are doing well, you just haven't realized it. You know, or you don't want to realize it.
That's another thing.
This just shows how much pressure we put on ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, true.
So I'm not saying like I don't have any pressures on like the way people think of me, because sure, a lot of people think of me as a reject. You know, like I kind of, you know, not going to school, and well, I used to be. You know, like I failed at school and things like that. But it's I don't know. I just don't care about that. I care about myself more. You know, like what do I want to do, and what exactly can I do? I know, and you know, and having people to believe me, and I think that's fine. You know.
So I picked this topic because like it's something that I think about daily. I mean, I thought about this morning. Like literally, we just talked about this.
We just talked about it.
Because like not to say that I'm not happy where I am now. I'm really happy with the path that I'm on and like the turns that I've taken in my life. But I say a lot that I liked who I was before. I don't know if I like it more than now, even though I just said I like myself now. But it's kind of like they're on the same level. Like I feel like I'm more myself currently, but it's not like I wasn't happy before. Because before I didn't go into arts. I was more like humanities. I wanted to work for the UN, blah, blah, blah. And then 1 year, it was like, let's make a musical. I'm like, okay, sure, I'm an artist. I'm an artist, I guess. And going from something as stable as like, you know, maybe like working for politics to being an artist, like a starving artist, is a huge jump. And so even though I feel happier and in my own skin, I'm always like thinking back to what society thinks is success. And usually being an artist is not success.
Yeah.
So that's why I think knowing that accomplishment and success are two different things, it makes me reflect more like, okay, maybe I'm not doing that bad, and like it's okay if I'm not what society thinks is great or like the best option, but I think I'm happy. But I don't know, like it's a daily journey. Like I'll feel accomplished at one point of the day, and then I'll go home and I feel like I've done nothing. It's hard.
Yeah, we do that a lot because we can jump from one job to next, and then we go back home and then reflect and be like, what the hell? It's like 24 hours just passed, and then what have we done? Like some really small things, I guess. What would it amount to? Especially in the process. Well, we're writing, so like the other day we just spent like the whole night from, I don't know, 1 to 3 a.m. and we cannot squeeze anything out until like we have to take like, let's go like take a shower and then come back, and then we make like a very spicy noodle which we cannot complete.
But we completed the plot.
Where is
then
it going?
but then we finished the plot. And then right the next day someone compliments us on something that we've done, and then we're like,
Did we do that?
Did we do that? Like we just sit in our room yesterday, like almost crying because we cannot do anything, and then someone compliments us on something that we've done. So that's why I said like it seems unreal.
Because like they didn't really see the behind the scene. You know, you are the one who experienced it, so you know like the struggle, the challenge of writing a piece. People just kind of see like the results. You know, it comes back to like the way people see merits. Sure, but maybe take advantage of it. You know, or maybe like, I don't know, feel good about it a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, when Millie talk about her story, I actually think about my mom, because I talked to her the other day, and then my mom and my dad divorced, and she said that she felt more like herself than ever. Like ever since she stayed with him, she kind of lived up to his expectation, and then became the wife that he wanted. And now that they're no longer together, in a way, that's her fulfilling society's expectation, like to have a complete family, whatever that is. And now that she only lives with my sister and I live with my dad, she feels happier than ever because she can just be herself and not try to be anyone else.
Yeah, it's like a new chapter in a way. You know?
People may look at her and be like, oh, your family's ruined or whatever. I don't care. She's herself, and I like her now.
I mean, to destroy the status quo is very, very fucking hard. You know, what the society has already put up to you, you know, well, I think like it will always be there, you know, like maybe at this point in time, like the generation that we are in, maybe we can change it a little bit, twist it up, you know, so,
just go one step at a time.
Maybe.
Yeah, but in a way it's kind of a paradox because we said that we feel happier if we are more ourselves. Yeah, but what happened if like when we're ourselves and society does not like that? That's a problem. I think.
Outcast.
Like, I think that's come back to the whole like nirvana and self-love thing. Is that you have to be like what?
Yo,
I'm sorry.
Bullshit.
The self-love
theory
of Dr. Marc, I guess.
PhD, like stuff. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Go on.
But I think that's come back to that. Like, that's why I think it's hard because you have to rise above all of that. Not only that you have to find yourself, but you have to accept that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like even when you have like I don't know other people, I feel like I grew up the opposite way. So like I really liked myself as a kid. I was like that really annoying girl at school who like fucking doesn't care what people think, and now I'm like fucking broken. It's great. No, yeah, because like I would like something as simple as like so female standards, for example, because we are in Vietnam, right? So I'm a lot more like physically hairy than most girls, and like I have no problem with that whatsoever. And someone as close to me as like my mom, she would contradict herself. One, she'll be like, you shouldn't care about what people think about your body hair, and I'll be like, okay, sure, yeah, so I'm fine. But then another time she'll be like telling me about her story about how she removed it for herself, and because she's scared that other people think she's unattractive. So I'm like, what are you trying to teach me then? You know? So then I'm constantly like battling with like, I love myself and I'm fine, and then society's like, be yourself, but not like that. And I'm like, what do you want from me?
No. In a way, like she changed herself for society, and then when society kind of agrees with her, then she felt like, you know what, just don't care about society again.
Yeah, it's like tattoos. Like you get a tattoo for yourself, but then my mom's like, you're following a trend, and I'm like, no, I'm doing it for. And not everything is about everybody else.
Yeah,
but
it's not the dragons, you know. It's not yin and yang though. No, that's a good point, right?
That's what my dad said. He's like, I'm like, can I get a tattoo, Dad? He's like, as long as it's not a dragon on you. And I'm like, what's with him and dragons? What's wrong with dragons?
No, it would be cool if it is a dragon, but like it has to have meaning, I guess. Not necessarily like
rise above,
like the ashes. Like, what's up? Yeah. Yeah.
But I would give it to your mom that maybe she's also battling, but then because she is your mom, so she cannot say like, oh, I'm not sure. Yeah. But then I still have to give you some sort of advice, you know?
I think like it goes back to like being a parent.
Yeah.
And also again, like the status quo has already been there, you know? It's like a generational thing. So that's why like I took some of my advice, some of the advices from my mom, but some of them I just like kind of, I twisted up a little bit. Yeah.
I wrote a poem yesterday.
Oh.
So
really?
it's an English poem, and then I had to like we have a double like English and Vietnamese thing on our website.
Yeah.
So then we always have to translate, but you can't really translate poetry. So
Exactly.
I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna write a new one in Vietnamese.
Yeah.
And that's like not a very easy task for me. But then I talked to my mom and I said like, is this fine? Is it like at least it's not complete nonsense? Can I publish it? And she says, but people are not gonna understand this. And I'm like, that's okay. Like I don't mind if people don't understand it. But she says, then why are you writing it for people? And I said, well, I want them to be interested in it and then ask me about it. I don't want them to just be satisfied that like they understand it.
It's not about the facade, you know. Yeah, the meaning.
It's like I think I feel accomplished because I wrote it because it was a very difficult task for me. But then it's also like, am I successful because people don't understand it? And then I'm just sitting there by myself like, I don't know what I'm doing.
No shit. We actually talked about that yesterday. You
Really?
know, in terms of our podcast.
Remind me again, I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah. So
Were you drunk? What?
No, I drink like lemonade.
Yeah.
So why don't you remember?
Retirement. Old age.
Old age. Fuck you. I'm the same age.
Old age.
I mean, applies both of us.
Anyway.
But yeah, we talked about our podcast, about how we're really proud of our content. And we're proud that we're putting out good content, podcast-wise. But the fact that the socials are not doing very well.
Why are you talking about it? It's like a very insecure mind.
Shit. You don't want to talk about
The
it.
first step to getting better is like admitting that you're wrong.
Yeah, we have
I feel kind of hot now.
So I've been doing YouTube for a really long time. Like maybe since I was in like 6th grade. Yeah, like I didn't stop at all. But my following is very small. Like it's like under 300, and I've been doing this for like almost 10 years. Like it's been a while. But what satisfies me and what makes me feel accomplished is like I know that I'm not creating like, no offense, bullshit ASMR stuff, you know? I'm actually like putting effort into the content I make. I spend hours like planning, editing, making sure that it's something more than just rabbits eating carrots near a microphone, even though it's beautiful. But then my following is not as big as someone like Jake Paul or like Logan Paul
Wow,
doing
yeah.
crap and like suicide.
If we
forest.
are talking about YouTube, yeah.
Yeah, but then the response that I get, personal responses, they are saying like they like I motivate them, I inspire them. I don't know about that, but you know, like small stuff like that is more meaningful. So I think that's why I wanted to talk about this, because society is so mean to everybody, and then I went from somebody who was really satisfied with who I am, and then now I'm constantly battling with like, am I happy? Even though I am, but it's always like, am I really happy?
Yeah.
Because I'm not society's like model girl, you know. But I feel okay most of the time.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Shit.
Depends on the hour.
No, it's fantastic, you know, like to hear comments of people basically, you know, talking about like how yeah, going back to Millie's, maybe inspiring them in a way. I don't know, I just want it spreading to like a lot more people than it is now. So I'm not like pressuring myself, but I want it to be like maybe a message, I think, and to make it more out there, you know, not necessarily because people cheering me because they are my friends, but because they feel like I'm actually connects with them in a way, like we already have. But I want to be more. Maybe I'm greedy, or maybe I'm expecting myself too much, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, that's my goal right now. I want to do ASMR.
Oh no.
Yeah, with Millie. Exactly with Millie. I want to make her do things.
It's rabbits making ASMR.
Yeah. Chew grass. Anyway, yeah, because I hate the comments on like, oh, you know, like it's new. I'm not hating it, but I don't want to be my excuse.
No.
You know, for it to be like, oh, you know what, it's new. So that's why, you know, it's just going to stop here. Basically, maybe I'm overreaching myself. I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Start with smaller accomplishments.
No, I know. But like the point that I have is that like if you already have this small accomplishment, then you can move on to do other things, you know. And from there, you see what happens. And I think this is like the phase now that I want it to be, you know, like maybe a better, or maybe an upgrade from the things that we already have, you know. So it's not fair to say, you know, like I want it to be more. You know, I don't want to be like as successful as Jake Paul, because I think I don't like that kind of attention. It sucks, to be honest. You know.
Yeah, because like, do you think he's even successful? Because I don't
yeah,
know,
exactly. He has money for sure, but
Yeah.
like he keeps on thinking about stuff to do, like
And it's like just viral things. I don't
yeah,
know.
like porn star shit. Like no, his demographic is like 12 plus. You know, like he just keeps on getting like things to do for the content, and sometimes it sucks ass. You know, like. So you kind of have to question, like, is he really happy about it, or well, is he really accomplished when you think about that way, you know? Yeah, not about money, but like, yeah, about happiness, I guess.
Yeah, so this may be an existential question or a stupid one, but why do you think people or society have that standard of success or accomplishment?
It's a legacy thing.
Legacy?
I think so. And like to find motivation to do things. Because like if you don't have any fucking motivation of doing things, then what's the point to live? You know? No, because like I talked to my friends about this, and she's doing well on the outside. But like when you talk to her about this kind of thing, it's like she doesn't really have any motivation whatsoever, you know? Why are you laughing?
You just said our entire like aesthetic.
Wow, yeah.
Crying in the corner.
Man, it's like, no, it's lost gen for sure.
Yeah, lost gen.
You get what I mean? It's like, I'm not saying like if it's bad or it's good. I'm just saying like the obvious. Like basically people want to have motivation in order to know like what is there to live for, you know? Because, well, what's the point? Because like you're going to be born, you grow up, and then you die. So leaving a legacy in a way is like to prove that you existed. Yes, exactly. And that's why many people feel like they are pressured to do things. You know, maybe not even because of the parents tell them to, but maybe because of the society or maybe even the history. You know, and I don't know. I can't call it bad or I can't call it good, but like it just existential kind of thing. Yeah, I don't know, because I don't think about it that much. But when you really think about it, then yes, that's sucks.
So
That's the point.
The problem is thinking.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say it to Millie because like maybe because we are overthinking. You know, many people are really happy with their lives. It's just us, you know.
No,
Yeah.
I think if you pull it back to like quote unquote society, it's very like we're just humans who want a system. Like, we want to make sense of things. Right?
Exactly.
And
yeah.
when we make sense of things, we make systems.
Yeah.
So that's it. But it's also like, why don't you make your own system? You know, because those systems are made up of smaller systems, and this is just my system. And sometimes you just need to be happy with your own system. Or
Yeah.
else you're gonna not reach nirvana.
Yeah. Religion 101. Nevada.
Sponsored by my university.
By the university? By the Buddhist Association.